I shouldn't have eaten all that popcorn. My eyes look all glazed. I'm losing my mind. I think I'm just so stressed out, but I'm not sure what I'm stressed out about. I mean, everything's going really well, but you know what it is? It's boredom. I'm bored. And, when you can't do a lot of things, like go for a nice long walk, and I tell you, my back is screwed. I mean, in my head and my heart, oh, the ambition. But then I start using my back and it's over. I mean, the spasms, the pain, the inability to mobilize because it's like, okay, every time I turn this way, there's a stabbing pain there. And I mean, it's a stabbing pain, okay? Like somebody's like letting you have it. I'm telling you. So yeah, I'm out of commission for a few days, maybe a week. And then housekeeping has to take the back seat. So I was doing so good, man. I was like, yeah. The last thing I did yesterday was put out some of my fall stuff. So that makes me happy because I love the color orange. Yes, I do. Orange and salmon. They're favorites of mine. And turquoise, aquas. So there are my pumpkins out. And that's my Charlie Brown thingy that goes like round and round. And the little images of light. I know it's very childish. I just couldn't help myself. That was a couple of years ago I bought that. So I've got whoop, quiet. I've got my laptop up and I have open to there was so many great comments. I just want to comment on your comments. Yes, that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to talk about comments. So the first one on the list is from Silent Knot. And I'm awfully sorry. It starts, my intention is never to be mean. Yeah, if I said, people can be mean, I mean, I didn't consider it mean. I considered your comments maybe uninformed. Maybe you just didn't realize what had gone on with me and the fact that I wish I could work, but like for the next 3 days, I'll be licking my wounds, applying pain cream. I can't do the tramadol anymore. It's causing me symptoms that I don't even want to talk about. And so, yeah, it's really hard because I have the fibromyalgia on top of all of that. And that's like head to toe body aches and pains along with severe fatigue. However, more recently, I'd say in the last month and a half, the vitamins I'm taking, either it's a placebo effect and I accept, or it's really actually working because I'm combining it with my D3. And yeah, I'm big on natural health, trying to get this done without surgeries, without doctors, without pain pills, without pills. I want my body to figure it out, right? So yeah, no, if I said mean, I'm sorry. I hope I have to go back and listen to the content and the context because I would remember, what. Oh my gosh, when my first video went viral at 90,000 views, that was a big one for me. I was shocked. I'm like, what? I remember a friend texting me. She says, "You have 200 subscribers." I'm like, "Get out of here!" I had gone from like 2 to 12 to I think 30 something, and then all of a sudden there were 200 people watching me, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't my intention. I don't know what I was thinking, but that wasn't what I was thinking originally. And then I try to, make it become something, try to maybe like have a product that worked for a while for me. Remember the magnetic, what was that? A frequency band at the frequency. maybe my problems are too severe, you know, for so, but you know what? I really would like to find that ankle bracelet again, and I don't know where it is. I had found the wrist bracelet, and now I've lost that too. I'm such a ditz. But, you know, trying to use frequency to, like, kind of like bring your body in harmony with the earth's frequency for healing. I'll try anything. But anyway, every time I touch this, it's going to go on. All right, so, right, I get Silent Knot. I get what you're saying. And, yeah, it made you more determined. I get it. I remember determination. I remember before Dennis got sick, we had plans. We were going to build up that retirement savings. We were looking at places like Chile, El Key. We were going to live there half the year. And none of those dreams would ever come true. Yeah. And then I started falling apart, you know. I started falling apart in 1998 with the first car accident, which was really, really bad. And then I got into another one in 2004. And then what happened? And then my spine broke in 2021. So, yeah, I don't know. It would really, I'd love I'd love nothing more than to have some sort of successful online business, but I have to make sure I can make enough that I'm not cutting off my nose to spite my face. It's such a bizarre balance, and I never know when I'm going to get a CFS, a chronic fatigue syndrome day. I never know. It happens, you know, but it hasn't happened badly, okay? I'm not going to say it hasn't happened. I'm going to say I haven't had a severe fatigue day in about a month and a half. So I've had it like, wow, I'm really tired day, you know? But it's not like the CFS. It's not like the chronic fatigue. If you've not ever had it or you've not known anyone who's had it, you couldn't possibly understand. I'm thinking about this young man. Open Medicine Foundation. If you go to the YouTube channel, Open Medicine Foundation, you'll hear the story of the founder and his son. I can't remember his name. I want to. Defoe. A young man in his 20s who was struck down by chronic fatigue syndrome. He was an avid mountain climber, a journalist, photographer. And one day when he went to visit his father, the fatigue was really bad. He had to move home. He said to his father, I can either cook or do the dishes, but I can't do both. And now he lays in bed with eye mask and earplugs because he can't tolerate noise, light. He's just laid right out, and his father is working with all his might with this Open Medicine Foundation to find a cure. But they need donations, and guys, if you ever want to give to someone, as soon as my son comes back from vacation, I'm going to speak to him about it because he's making money, and I'm going to ask him to start doing a monthly donation to the Open Medicine Foundation for the sake of all of those suffering. What did they call that march? Million Missing. And they put everybody's shoes that couldn't be there on the steps of the Capitol, I think it was. Makes me want to cry because I think about all the suffering out there, you know. I mean, boys, there's suffering out there. And I'm thinking about all the stuff going on in the world today. I want to do a video just on how horrifying it all is. But AJ says do what you need to do. We're here, still watching. Keep them coming. So, right. So I was, it was just kind of something for content. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so close to that $100 wallet. I've got to keep pushing and trying to get it. I think I'm almost at 89 now. So, but then I got the 2 donations. So, I don't, you know, when that happens, it just starts to seem silly to keep pushing for that other 100. But actually, I'm thinking of getting the Black & Decker 0.9 liter washer. No, 0.9 cubic feet. That'd be so good because I could actually do a real load of laundry in it. And it's not very big. And you can hook it up to the sink and put the drain in the sink and off to the races. So, but it's like $236 with free delivery, but there's going to be tax. I'm in Florida. Honestly. So, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. So I went from a $59 collapsible washer. The reviews were so bad. It's like, no, I can't waste $60. I can't waste anything. I gotta have something that really works. I need something that can fill itself with water, drain itself, and spin. I don't have the back for it. I did a little bit of organizing and vacuuming and I'm shot to hell. I mean, what do you do with that? Thank you so much, you guys, for watching me. Thank you, AJ. Thank you, Silent Knot. So next is Seika Magoishi. Did I say that right? And boy, you have a heck of a story, my friend. You're in your late 20s, but you relate to me so much. God bless you. Boy, I'm gonna tell you, Seika. Caregiving. What's the words? It drains you. It pulls all the resources out of you. It ages you. It's not just the emotional part. Because, you're not just like someone coming from the outside coming in. You're not a stranger to this person when you take on the role of caregiving. You love them. You want to see them get better. You suffer when they suffer. So you don't just have the stress of, the physical taking care of this person. You got the groceries. You got the laundry. You got the cooking and cleaning. You got the trash to take out. If you have a house, you got house repairs. You got lawn to, it's like the entire world fell on your shoulders. Atlas. But we're not Atlas, are we? We're not Hercules. We're these poor little humans just trying to get by. And Seika, your dreams of the restaurant industry and cooking. I don't know what condition you're in currently. I would imagine caregiving really deflated everything in your life. It ages you. It does. It took years from my life in that 5.5 years. It's just, the worry. And how about the dealing with doctors and insurance companies? They don't want to give you anything. And when they do, it's a lousy company that gives you dirty used equipment during COVID. Ooh, that O2 Solutions of Tampa. I'd like to find the owner. I still have the picture of what they sent me. The filter was filthy. During COVID, they gave my poor husband a BiPAP, and I'd connect his hoses, and I didn't have extra hoses, and so I had to use those hoses that night after I'd blown germ-filled air from there. And I said, something's not right here. This doesn't look right. It doesn't seem right. And when I, forget it. It's so unfair, okay? And the stress, my heart's beating just remembering what happened. And then the next day, my husband took his life because he couldn't swallow anymore. The BiPAP might have given him a little more time. But when he saw what was, he said, "Get that thing out of here." So I called him. I said, "You get your men over here now, and you get this thing out of here, or I'm gonna throw it out in the street." They came. So, if you have dreams, you're young still. Don't give up if you don't have to. Try to find a way. I mean, maybe you can't go through school. It's expensive. It's possible. But, there are also like community programs, like tech colleges, where you might be able to get more financing depending on what state you're in and what the programs are. And start somewhere. Start anywhere. Fulfill your dreams. Your mom would want you to. In this one, I'm sorry for all you've been through. I gotta tell you, it ain't the half of it. Those were just the highlights. Government assistance is for U.S. citizens in situations like yours. And I don't feel bad for taking it. You know what I feel sorry for? Our poor American citizens having to carry that burden on their backs in taxes. There's got to be a better way, There's got to be a better way, but I don't know what that way is. We can't foretell the future. Yeah, they could have left me on the side of the road in a broken down van in my life, or I could have still been living in the little house, which is now an office. So I could be sleeping in Finn's room while shows are going on loudly till 4 a.m. And my life would have been a living hell. I don't know if I would have been able to get through it if that's what my life had been. I don't know. So, yeah, am I glad that the government has this aside for the people that need it? Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of people scamming. I know. I've seen and heard of people in my lifetime. I'm like, oh, okay, so they're on disability, so why are they doing construction work on, when they supposedly hurt their back? They wanted more money. Disability is not for living on, quite frankly. They don't give you a lot, I mean, there's two sides of the coin. I get it. But I'm grateful. So grateful because I even tried to do the Uber Eats. If you remember my past videos, my stories, that was so exciting. I was so excited. I'm like, "Dennis, I'm going to get us out of this dilapidated trailer and we're going to have our own house, I promise." And then the prices went through the roof. And I only did Uber for a month and a half, and my entire from here down went into spasm, and I was done. A year and a half it took me to recover from driving a month and a half of Uber. I kid you not. It was that bad. See, I didn't know what was happening in my spine. I had no idea that things were literally like disappearing. How does that happen? Well, of course, my D was down to a 9, whatever it is that they use the measurement. It was an mg. So who knows how long that was going on. I was stuck in the house for 5.5 years taking care of a sick person. I wasn't going to the beach. I wasn't even gardening, though I did try. That tiny little lot in my trailer, funny. Okay, and so, yeah, thank you for watching my Blitz videos, Athominas. Is that Greek? Okay. Next is Blue Rose Ramblings. She gets it. Yes, trauma. Trauma in childhood, and even trauma in adulthood. I never understood what trauma was doing to me, personally. I thought my inability to do math was because my memory was poor. But why was my memory so poor? I remember the teacher in 2nd grade, we were learning multiplication, and I couldn't. I mean, every night I'd practice and practice. I'd write each one down 10 times like she told me to. and I could never win. She'd have each of us stand up and get through like 8 problems. And one day I cheated and I wrote them on my hand because just once I wanted to get them. And so I'd look down, holding my little hands, and I wonder if she knew Miss Penny. Or was it Miss Bloom? I can't remember. Miss Penny was so sweet. Oh, I liked her so much. And Miss Bloom was nice too. But anyway, I got it once because I cheated. I'll always feel bad about that. I'm sure they're not living anymore, the teachers. Or I'd apologize. Okay, I'm gonna, right, trauma. And yeah, our men become workaholics. I think that's their combat mechanism to fight off all that's going on in their mind. I remember poor Dennis said to me, if you could just for a minute hear what's going on inside my head, you wouldn't believe it. I was like, oh, Danny, I wish so bad I could just rub all those bad memories out, but I understood. We talk about, things in our lives that hurt, and continue to hurt, I have to stop there because I'm already at 21 minutes. How do I manage this? And I will pick up on the next one. And I want to thank you all for watching. I love your comments. It's really sweet that you like my storytelling. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. But thank you so much for just being here. And we're having fun, aren't we? I mean, and yeah, I know some of it's sad, but don't we all have tragedies in our lives that we just have to pick up and keep moving, I listen to your stories. I remember your stories. Sometimes I don't remember your stories, and you have to remind me, and then I remember. Oh yeah, I remember that. And we're all going through stuff. We're all trying to get through this crazy life. Yep. And aging ain't pretty for all of us, and I wish it was. I wish there was equality in aging. Maybe they could do a new bill in Congress. Let us all age equally. I don't think that's going to happen. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. What am I going to eat for breakfast? I'm so tired of thinking about it. I wish I could just just have the same thing every day and not care. But I do. Eggs. I think I'm going to do eggs this morning. Doesn't egg sound good? Alrighty then. Bye.